I didn't have anything ready to go after Hollow Knight was done, so this is being recorded the day before it goes up. Hades.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Goodbye, Father.
Welcome to Tartarus. The first level of hell.
Hell with this place.
Ah, to hell with this place. Because it's hell. Anyway, so Hades is a roguelike game developed by Supergiant Games.
Stop me.
You have 4 main buttons of that you have use of. So far, all I've done is the dodge button, which is the bottom face button on whatever controller you're using. I'm playing this on the Switch. Your light attack is your left button. So starting off here, if you just mash the Y button, or the light attack button rather, you'll just do a 3-hit combo. And if you manage to pop anybody into the wall, you'll actually do a little bit of damage. And only the 3rd hit of your 3-hit combo will push them back. These little pillars that are right here, if you hit them while there's an enemy around them, boulders will fall on top of them, and you can actually do more damage that way too. So that's what I've been doing. X is your strong attack. With the sword, it just pushes them away a little bit. This is also a good way of dealing some wall slam damage. And your A button is your cast. It does a little bit of damage, and it also gets your little bloodstone stuck in the enemies. You have to slay whatever enemy has it inside of it to be able to retrieve it. This is a boon from a god or goddess of Olympus. So let's go ahead and hit accept.
It's got to be her. Then here goes nothing. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin. Now, let's get you from that miserable place. I'll see that all of us upon Olympus do our part, beginning here with me.
So Athena, she gives you boons, which, affect your gameplay. Her boons all have to do, well, mostly have to do with deflecting. And basically, if you time an attack, dash, or cast amongst an enemy's attack, you will deflect them, which will just repel the attack back at them, or will just make you take no damage. Now, this being a roguelike, you are expected to die a lot, but also this being a roguelike, dungeon layouts tend to be randomized after the very first one. So, rewards for each room, or as they're called, the encounters, will differ every new playthrough. Like, ultimately, they all have, like, the same type of rewards. This is what's known as darkness, which is a type of currency that is spendable once you return to the House of Hades, which, yes, will probably happen for you, because this game, being a roguelike, you're expected to die a lot, you will be returning to the House of Hades a lot. So, in order to purchase upgrades that will last you for, the rest of the game, collect a lot of darkness. There's another type of currency called Obol, Charon's Obol, specifically. That's O-B-O-L. I'm not sure if I'm actually pronouncing it correctly. But that type of currency will disappear once you die. And ideally, if you know you're going to be surviving a long time, that's where you'd want to save up as much Obol as possible. The reward for that last room was called a Pomegranate of Power, or a Power Pom, I believe. It will allow you to upgrade one of 3 boons that you have on you at the time. And because I only had the 1 boon, which is the upgrade to my dash, that's all it upgraded. So if we chose to dash into these little balls, the shadow balls, you'd be able to reflect them back at that foe, which is a witch. And he's also armored, so he'll take a little bit of extra damage before he's gonna go down. So we have 2 options here. The left one is a coin sack, which indicates that Charon, the boatman of the Styx, is waiting there to offer us 3 items for a certain amount of money. But we don't really have a whole lot of spendable money. So the right one over here, the reward for this chamber will be Obol. So sometimes you got to pick your battles depending on what you see the rewards being. It's like, do you need to go for something, or do you want to go for something? What would benefit you more? You'll have a fight for some of them, and other times you can avoid a fight all outright. But in the grand scheme of things, what would benefit you more at the time, or even going forward? So there are traps that you'll have to avoid during the travels through the underworld, including these bombs. You can use these to do a lot of damage to other enemies, but alternatively you also have these little pressure pads. Some of them will have spikes in them, other times they will activate a statue that will shoot at you, in which case, you know, just always be on your toes. And starting out, you only have one dash, you only have one cast, and not a whole lot of abilities to work with otherwise. But as you play the game more, and as you unlock more areas in the underworld, you will be able to access more, you know, boons for more abilities. So the standard ones we have here, the attack, strong attack, cast, dodge, those are always going to be there no matter what. But eventually you'll be able to gather an ability for your ZR, your right trigger, and much later as well, just as a permanent unlock, you can get one for your ZL button, your left trigger. Trying to think off the top of my head if left bumper is ever used for anything, and I'm not coming up with anything. So yeah, don't step on pressure plates for too long, otherwise, yeah, you're gonna take some damage. Other people can stand on it, though. Let's see if we can force one of them onto there. Never mind. So that's a max life up. Every time you collect one of those hearts, you will upgrade your health by 25 hit points. Now, we have two choices for next chamber. The left one is for the god Ares, and the right one is for the god Dionysus. Now, at the moment, you may not understand what either of them are about, but you'll also notice that the right one for Dionysus has a skull on it, which indicates that it'll be a harder encounter. So if you want to go for an easier encounter and there is an option available to you to take an easier one, then go for that. I, however, am living dangerously, so let's go for Dionysus. Now, some of the harder encounters in Tartarus itself include mini-boss fights. So this is a mini-boss fight against just two bomb-throwing guys. You can actually deflect their bombs back at them if you have an Athena boon, which I'm pretty sure is the very first boon anyone will get on their first playthrough. Yeah, these guys will scatter bombs everywhere. You can turn them to be your own if you time your dodges, attacks, or specials right. You know, just be careful. But these guys will also drop their bombs once they die, so also keep note of that. And we should be done. Alright, Dionysus.
That was revelry? People having a good time? Well, sure then. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I'll accept this message.
Hey there, Zagman. How's it going? Look, you have got to get here with the rest of us already. We've been saving you a spot. Let me see what I can do. Make life a little sweeter for you in the meantime.
As of late, I've been really enjoying Dionysus's boons. So, Dionysus primarily inflicts hangover with any of his boons, and hangover is basically poison. They take damage over time. But he, among a couple of other gods and goddesses, will offer you damage resistance or healing buffs. And since healing is scarce in the depths of Hades, it can be pretty good to have that. Now, I'm going to take Drunken Strike, I think, because having a fast-ish attack that can deal increasing poison damage sounds nice to me right about now.
Numbskulls.
So these guys are all armored, which can make for a little bit of a trickier fight. So far, so decent. Also, if you step on this pressure pad, then something shoots at you.
On my authority.
Okay, our options are darkness and a key. We don't have... well, I can save on darkness any other time, I guess, so I'm just going to prioritize keys for now. Early game, I would recommend going for a lot of darkness and keys. So if you have an option between both of them, if I had to pick, probably keys, because those can be useful for if you're not liking a particular weapon. Spoilers. You'll be able to use a key to change that up if you have enough of them. All right.
A chthonic key.
So we have an option between Obol and Palm of Power. For right now, I'm going to go with some more Obol, because I don't feel the need to upgrade either one of my my boons right now. Doing a lot of damage to these guys with the wall breaks and the poison and... I'm sorry, not the wall breaks, the wall bounces, I guess was what they're called. And the deflections and the traps. Basically, if you can push them into a trap with something that's already doing more damage, you're going to be annihilating most health bars. Oh yeah, additionally, you have a dash strike, which is this thrusting maneuver for the sword. Basically, when you're dashing, press the attack button and you'll just thrust forward a little bit. There are multiple weapons in this game, and there will be an opportunity later for you to buff specifically your dash strike. Now, we have an option between Dionysus again or Charon's shop. And I'm just going to head over to Charon. And if I'm pronouncing that slightly wrong, I apologize.
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate.
Charon.
Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? And I'll just have a look around.
Beyond the present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying dangers far beyond the Underworld Prince's reckoning.
And I can reckon quite a bit.
Alright, I have enough money for all of these, and on a normal playthrough, like, I would probably be saving my Obol for something later, but I'm not expecting to be surviving until later, so might as well just clear them out.
It feels unseemly to make contact from that most unpleasant boatman's stash of ill-gotten wares. Nonetheless, this was an opportunity.
So, there are rarities to boons, by the way. The rarer something is, the more damage it tends to do, or at least the more potent it tends to be. So there's nothing wrong with common ones just so long as they do the job that you want them to do. But damage-wise, if you're really looking for those, then you'd want to go for the rarer stuff for sure. But I'm going to take Phalanx Shot.
Divine protection.
So now our cast becomes a rolling ball that, if anything collides with it, it will deflect. So now both our dash and our cast can deflect. And our attack can inflict hangover. Sorry, Charon. Welcome to our first boss.
Well, this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus. Not one step further.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back, like a good little man, or I can send you home the painful way. What'll it be?
I'll have to go with the painful way.
A man after my own heart.
Alright, so Megara. Not to be confused with Hercules' wife. This is one of the Furies, or the... I can't remember their name right now. Starts with an EU, I think. But yeah, she does damage. And this is the first fight where I'm not expecting to come out of it on top, because early game, if you're not really familiar with the controls, and if you don't have a whole lot of buffs on you, then this might take a while. She has a couple of moves available to her, including this lightning bolt strike, basically. Or I guess they're more like eruptions.
How dare you?
Whoop, I keep forgetting I don't have more dashes than just one. So that's why I'm getting too close for comfort. Oh, she still has a, okay. I was wondering where my cast was, and I realized, oh wait, she actually has it. Oop. Yeah, that was not good. Whoa! Ah! Oh! Oh no, I don't have my cast still. If you have deflect, you can do some damage back to her.
Beg me for mercy, fool.
Also, her arena has some pressure pads. If you're not careful, you can get stabbed by a trap. Whoa!
Idiot.
Well, we're dead. Game over. Thanks for watching.
Damn it.
So every time you die, you respawn back into this pool of blood at the House of Hades, where Zagreus calls home.
Welcome to the House of Hades, where... Wait, I know you. Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad, though. Pretty much everybody dies sometime.
Some of us more than others.
Back already.
This is Hades. In the game Hades. Anyway.
Stupid boy. I told you nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead. So how was your wanton ransacking of my domain?
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight, thank you for asking. So I'll just be on my way again.
Be on your way indeed. What do I care? You shall never reach the surface. Go. See for yourself.
Hi, Cerberus.
Infernal watchdog Cerberus regards the underworld prince with mixed emotions, from purest joy to deepest melancholy.
You watch over things for me, won't you, boy? You know I'd take you if I could.
And you know this is a good video game because you can pet the dog.
There's a good boy.
Cerberus was actually credited with multiple dog voices in the actual credits of the game. So, there you go. Everybody loves dogs.
The House of Hades, that dark and lavishly appointed lair of the underworld's king, is home not just to him, but to his willful progeny.
You know I can hear you, old man.
I do love the running gag of Zagreus being able to hear the narrator.
Good to see you, lad, despite the circumstances. Remember your training out there. The pain of death is but another obstacle.
And fear is for the weak. Take care, Achilles.
So, in the lore, Achilles trained Zagreus whenever he was growing up. We kind of know how that went. Well, how his death went, I guess. You know, something about an ankle.
You have come home. Do not despair, child. Such setbacks are inevitable and may be overcome with effort and with time. You made contact with the goddess Athena. She shall be true to her word.
I believe it, Nyx. I'm grateful that you put us into contact. I know you took a considerable risk in reaching out.
The risk is not to me. I expected the Olympians would involve themselves in this eventually. Reveal to them no more than they already know. Are we understood?
Yes, we are.
Sometimes you can interact with the shades in the House of Hades and see what they died from.
Shades?
Prophecies have a way of catching up to you. Cause of death, falling tortoise. The irony. Before we move on, though, a quick overview of who we just talked to. Hypnos over there, the sleep incarnate. He will tell you about whatever last killed you, and he gives you a little bit of advice as to how to counteract it next time. Usually it's in the form of sassing you, but it can be helpful from time to time. Hades is perpetually at work, and he'll always sass Zagreus anytime he tries to, you know, make an escape attempt. Cerberus is just a good boy. Achilles, as I said earlier, he trained Zagreus, so he's gonna be more helpful than not, more whenever you go talk to him. Nyx, apparently, the goddess of night, she is, even though she's your stepmother, she's the one trying to help you get out. Like, she helped you get in contact with the Olympians up on, you know, Olympus. And she will be one of the bigger, I guess, the more central characters to aiding Zagreus going forward.